Hi friends, welcome to today's Pick a Card Tarot reading. So today we are going to do just a quick reading here with what does Spirit need to tell you. So they're just going to be general messages on whatever Spirit needs to bring through in the moment for you. In this moment, we have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Before we dive in though, I'd like to announce the winner of my competition. We had a competition here on this channel celebrating 500 subscribers. So because I got 500 subscribers, I'm giving away a free private reading, and the winner of the free private reading is a person named Daphne. So Daphne, keep an eye out in your email. You will be getting a message reply giving you all the details on how to pick out your reading. So thank you so much to everyone who has who entered into the contest. It was a lot of fun, and if you didn't win this contest, not to worry. I have private readings available on my website. You're always welcome to get one of those. I am considering adding another option to my tiers as well, so keep an ear out for that. And then finally, I'm going to have more giveaways in the future. I'm probably going to be doing a giveaway with 2 free readings once I reach 1,000 subscribers. So that's going to be coming up sooner than later, because we're already at 6:45 now as of recording this video, which is pretty incredible. So anyway, keep an ear out for that. And then finally, just some quick messages as well. You may have noticed I haven't been posting quite as often as I was. The only reason for that is that I'm in the middle of moving and getting my life kind of completely changed and situated. So things might be a little bit shaky. There might not be as regularity as normal for the next month, but then after that, it'll be back to 4 to 5 videos a week, no problem. Don't worry, I'm still going to be posting still at least once a week, definitely twice a week if I can, maybe more than that. I just want to let you know what's going on so you can prepare for what's happening with this channel. I'm really excited to continue to bring you more content and keep this channel going. So anyway, without further ado, go down to the description section of this video now, and you'll be able to find the link to your reading. Once again, we have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Thank you so much to everyone for subscribing to this channel. Hey there, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. You chose the reading with this pretty blue stone here. So let's dive right in. So what does Spirit want you to know? I picked out a bunch of different tarot cards from lots of different decks here. 2, 2, 2, and 2. So we'll get some mixed messages here just to figure out what's going on. First 2 cards come from the Wild Unknown Tarot, and you've got the 10 of Pentacles and the Father of Swords. Wow, so that's a really powerful combination. With the Father of Swords there, that's the King of Swords in most decks. It's looking as if you have really been working hard on bringing a clarity of mind. You've had this clarity of mind coming to you, this sort of, you know, you've culminated this ability to calm your mind, to understand where you are in the world, to understand your own sense of well-being and well-knowing. And that's led you so far now, right? You've gone down, I think potentially in the past with the King of Swords here, you may have gone down some challenging moments where you've learned how to calm your mind under any conditions, right? With the King of Swords, he's kind of this like very calm-headed person. He's very cool under pressure, and he's developed that over a long period of time. So he's potentially been through a lot of challenging circumstances in his past that have taught him how to not allow things to affect him very intensely, right? not to allow drama to affect him, not to allow difficult situations to bring him down. And because of that, he's developed into this very calm-headed person. He still feels his feelings. Sometimes the King and Queen of Swords are, called cold, because they're just like very cold, some people say, but they're not. It's just they feel their feelings very intensely. It's just that they don't let their feelings get the best of them. They don't make their decisions on the flip of a hat. They're not super quick to make rash decisions. They're very calm and collected in their decision making, and because of that, they're able to create a lot of success for themselves. And that's something that's happened for you, because now you have the Ten of Pentacles, which is ultimate abundance, actually. It's this like culmination in the material world, being absolutely abundant. So you've worked really hard at making yourself into this very calm and collected presence, and that's allowed you to build abundance, or you're coming into abundance now. You're coming into this period where you're going to be very successful. You're coming into this period where you're able to be at this peak level, this very high level, and it's because you're cutting out any extraneous things that don't work anymore. You're cutting out people and places and situations and things that just aren't meant for you, or just don't work for you, or are overly complicated, or are overly difficult, and you're simplifying. You're simplifying your life. You're simplifying your thoughts. You're simplifying how you interact and move through the world, and you're opening yourself up to this beautiful, abundant energy because of that. Let's keep looking. You have two cards from the Universal Waite Deck. You have the Sun and you have the Three of Cups. Yeah, so because of all of this, right, because you've taken this time to really develop this calm and cool, collected mind, you're entering into this new period that's the Sun, right? You're leaving behind maybe any of these difficult situations that had to train you into becoming the King of Swords, right? All of your training was a different cycle. It was this really difficult, challenging cycle. You've left that cycle behind now, and now you're entering into this abundant cycle, this abundant period that's all about the Sun, and it's about celebrating. Look at, you're coming together with friends and cheersing, right? In this deeply, deeply, deeply celebratory energy. And that's a really wonderful thing that you have coming on for you. This deeply, deeply celebratory period is now coming into your life, where maybe you're going to have new friends, or you're going to really be celebrating with the friends that you have. You're going to be getting together and really enjoying life. I see this as a deeply enjoyment of life, right? You've allowed yourself to develop this calm so that no matter what's going on, no matter what other people throw in your face, or the outside world seems to be throwing, you're still going to be living this life of peace and joy and comfort, because you're almost like you're generating it for yourself. It doesn't matter what happens on the outside. It doesn't matter what other people say. It doesn't matter what other people do. You know how now to avoid certain people in certain situations that are going to bring you down, and you know how to find the things in life that are really going to be what you really want, and maybe you've developed a better sense of what it is that you want in life. Maybe you know more now about who you are and what you want and what's going on for you than you ever did before, because you've finally allowed yourself to have discernment, right? You've developed this discernment with your relationships and your connections, and in all of that, you've developed this very beautiful discernment that you have now, that's allowing you to be in this beautiful Sun energy, because the Sun is a choice, right? The celebration and the abundance, all of this is choices, and you have the ability to choose this for yourself or not, and it doesn't really matter either way, right? Like, you don't have to choose this happiness, but you have chosen it. That's why this is coming in, because you've chosen it and you've been working really hard at it. So now you're going to be reaping the rewards of all of your hard work, is kind of what I'm guessing from this. It's like you're going to be benefiting from all of these positive choices you've made in your life, and you understand these choices better now. I get that sense. You've developed this sense within yourself of how to make these choices for yourself. You have this discernment now, so you don't have to keep falling into any old traps that you used to have, because now you have a better idea of what you want, and you have a better idea of what peace even means for you. You know, these are very peaceful cards too. They're joyous, wonderful peace. You know what peace feels like, and you're ready to open your heart to it. You're ready to let it into your life. You're ready to be present with it for yourself here, right now. You don't have to, I see this being very present in the moment as well. You're developing this present sense in the moment, and because of that, you're allowing in this celebratory, sun-filled, joyous energy. Next up, we have 2 cards from the 1JJ Swiss deck. You've got the Page of Wands and the Ace of Cups. Yeah, so now you're in a new start, right? Because of that, because you've developed this discernment with the King of Swords, right? The last journey that you were on was the Swords journey and the Pentacles journey. And so now you're opening yourself up because you're in this abundant energy, because you're in this discernment, and you've got the Sun and celebration coming in. Now you're ready to start a new journey in the next 2 cups, right? Or the next 2 suits. You're ready to jump into these new suits and experience what they have to offer for you. And those new suits are in the cups. The Ace of Cups is a new beginning in the cups, which is all about emotions, emotional fulfillment, love, a sense of peace. Like I was talking about, that peace energy. You have that coming into you now. This is the new journey you're on, is learning what peace means for you and accepting that for you, whatever it means. And then you also have a new journey in the Wands, because the pages are just like starting out. So you've got this new start in the Wands energy, which are all about your passions and your drives and what lights you up in life, what keeps you going, what what excites you, what makes you want to keep moving day after day after day. So you're going to be following your passions, following your drives, and it's going to be leading to this abundance, And remember, abundance is an energy that you put yourself in. So if you are in an abundant energy in the present moment, then abundance flows to you. But by being in that, you're going to be unlocking your passions and your drives, and that's going to be, how you move forward is by following those. You're going to be really excited. You're going to be really lit up, really ready to move and to go and to experience this joy for yourself, which is very beautiful. This reading is incredible. Finally, we have 2 cards for my hand-drawn deck. I drew this deck myself a few years ago. First card you have is the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. Oh, we have 3 cards, actually. Then we have the 5 of Pentacles. Okay. And then we have the 9 of Cups. Yeah. So, this 5 of Pentacles to me is talking back when I was talking about the Page of Swords, that you've been through difficult things in the past. This is the Dark Night of the Soul card, so it's like that period of your life that's really difficult and really challenging. It can be like really hard, but the thing about a Dark Night of the Soul, experience is that it's a way for enlightenment. It's like these difficult things happen in our lives sometimes. And I want to be clear, like sometimes stuff just happens, right? And it doesn't necessarily need a reason behind it. It's just bad or challenging and difficult and awful things can just happen sometimes. And it's up to us what we make of that. We can either let in a huge amount of despair for ourselves, and we can become really lost in depression and grief because of it, or we can take that and use it as a tool for enlightenment. We can take these challenging situations and turn them into this wisdom, turn them into this experience, so that we gain a further wisdom, we gain a further understanding of life and reality, and that through that understanding we're able to move through life in a way that's brighter, because of this, because you went through that, you learned this discernment, because you went through challenging things, you learned how to not allow difficult people into your life as easily, you learned how to not listen to everybody's opinion, which is like, and it's good, it's important to be open, right? It's important to be open and to be empathetic and to be understanding of other people's situations, but you don't have to let other people's opinions run your life, and let other people's actions dictate what's going to happen for you in your life. You now know that discernment more, and so you're able to move through life in a little bit easier kind of a way. And because of that, you have the Wheel of Fortune here, right? And the Wheel of Fortune is I just read it as a fortunate omen. It's a good omen. It's a beautiful thing coming into your life now. And that's this new period I've been talking about. And then the final card comes from this Nine of Cups, which is all about this, to me, I consider the Nine of Cups the self-love card, because it's like he's sitting in his own little room with all of his 9 cups, and he's incredibly content. He's super, super happy that he's collected all of these cups, and he's here and he's happy. And so for me, I tend to relate it to this idea of giving back to yourself. So what you've done is you've allowed yourself to have this discernment, and now you're giving back to yourself. You're allowing yourself to give to yourself, you know, where in the past you've been so open potentially of giving to others, which is good, you know, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but you don't have to give to everyone, you know, and you can give to yourself, and you can look at yourself with the kind of open, beautiful, unconditional love that you've given to other people potentially. So you have that 9 of Cups energy here, which is like you're really connecting in with your own sense of self-love and opening your heart to giving back to yourself. You know, you're filling your own cup right now with this Ace of Cups, in order to be in this abundant energy. And then you can share it with others, you know, with this celebration. Then you're going to be more, you know, the people that you do give your time to, if you're not giving it to literally everyone who demands it of you, if you're selective about who you give your time to, and you give it to and you spend time with the people who really cherish you, and you love them and cherish them, you know, then you're going to be in this beautiful sun celebration energy. And that the connections that you make, the times that you're with other people, all of that is going to be from this place of deep love and compassion and wisdom and happiness. And you're just going to be in this deeply happy energy now. You know, I just feel that this new period that you've just entered into, it's going to be really wonderful for you, and really happy and really open and really beautiful. So cherish that. That's my reading for you, pile number 1. I really hope that it resonates. This is a beautiful, beautiful reading. I just see some really incredible, wonderful things for you opening up. So really cherish that. Really stay tuned for that, because it's wonderful. Let me know what you think in the comments either way. I love hearing from everyone. If you would like a private reading from me, please feel free to hit me up on my check out my website at www.junodrum.com. I have a couple of private reading options available there. And then another way for you to get some really awesome bonus content from me and learn more about my channel and help support me even more, you can check out my Patreon at patreon.com/junodrum. Thanks so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, pile number 1, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hey there, pile number 2. Welcome to this reading. If you chose this really great lapis lazuli stone, it's blue and beautiful and kind of connecting into your own power and your own sense of self, and being really happy with that. So maybe that's what's coming into your life right now. I've got a bunch of different cards from a bunch of different decks. We're going to read them all and kind of lay them all out. So first up, we have 3 cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot. You've got the 9 of Wands. We've got the 5 of Wands. And we've got the Temperance card. Okay, so with this 5 of Wands here, I feel like you've potentially been through kind of a struggle kind of a period, or at least you felt like you're in a stalemate, you know? You felt really stuck. Potentially right now you're feeling it, or you felt it in the recent past. It was just this struggle, you know? Like in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it's depicted as a man or a bunch of people who are fighting with sticks, and they're all at a stalemate. None of them are winning. You know, none of them are victorious. They're all kind of just stuck. And so to me, it can talk about that kind of stuck energy. And sometimes it's a little bit like the Hanged Man card too, where it's just that, like, nothing's really moving forward. You don't really know what's going on, but you're just gah, you know? But that doesn't, I feel like you're about to leave that, right? And the way that you get out of this, or the way that you leave this stuck energy, if you're currently in it, or you already kind of know this because you've gotten yourself out of it a little bit, is that, you know, sometimes we don't get everything that we want, right? But we can transform the circumstances that we are given into a better outcome for ourselves. We can change, whatever was going on that's keeping you stuck, if it's internal, if it's psychological, if you have all of these stuck things based on beliefs and actions and that sort of thing, if that's what's going on, or it can be external with people and situations that you're in. You're being encouraged with this temperance card to I always just relate this card to that idea of making lemonade out of the lemons that life gives you. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So that's kind of the encouragement I'm feeling from this, is that, like, even if you feel stuck, there's something that you can do to move yourself forward. There's something that you can do. And the other thing with the temperance is it's this idea of balancing these forces. It's like the angel in most decks, the page is an angel who's got two cups and she's kind of mixing two waters together. So it's this idea that she was given these two cups that are both filled with two different things that nobody wants. Nobody wants either one of these cups, but she's able to mix the two together and make this brand new elixir that's actually much, much better than the two separate parts, and much more desirable and favorable. And now everybody wants those cups because they're filled with a liquid solution that's beautiful and wonderful for everyone. So you have the ability to take those things that are happening in your life, take those challenges, take those forces, and transmute them, to take them and use your inner alchemy, with this kind, almost like the magician, where you're using this alchemy to transform your circumstances into something that's going to help you, that's going to be beautiful, and really work for you. And then with this Nine of Swords or Nine of Wands card, particularly in the Wild Unknown tarot deck, because it's got its unique symbolism, it's this idea of taking one step at a time, right? To leave this stalemate, especially if you've been in it a long time, it's not going to be totally done overnight. It's going to be slow process. This mixing of forces, this transmutation energy from the Temperance card, it's not going to happen overnight. And don't be hard on yourself if you don't see results right away from this work. But if you're willing to put in that hard work on yourself and on your situation, you're going to get out of it. It's just one step at a time. And you don't need to know the outcome yet. You don't need to know the complete story of where you're going, especially if you're trying to make something happen for yourself too. If you're trying to manifest something in your life and you feel really stuck, you feel like nothing's working because you've been trying really, really, really hard to make something happen, but it's just not working, then it's possible that, one, your approach is wrong. It's possible too that the outcome that you think is going to be isn't exactly the right one for you, that maybe there's some other things that need to happen. And then 3, it's possible that, yes, that outcome is what you're working towards, but you have a very particular way in your mind of how you think that's supposed to unfold, that you've developed this idea of, like, oh, I gotta do X and I gotta do Y and I gotta do Z if I'm gonna make this happen. Like, the only way to make that happen is to do this, and this. And oh my God, I can't believe I gotta do that, and that, and blah, blah, blah. It's getting stuck in that. Don't think about everything that needs to happen to achieve this goal. You don't know yet, because everything's going to unfold one step at a time, right? The only point in time that exists is this moment right here, right now. So by being too planny, by coming up with too much of a plan and using your logic brain a little too much, you actually keep yourself from being in the present moment. You put it out into the future instead of being here, right now. And so you're not able to take the action that maybe needs to happen in this moment. So instead, take it one step at a time. Take it, don't think about step 13 yet. Just think about, okay, I'm going to do this today to be a little bit closer to my goal, and it might just be one micro step, but I'm going to take that micro step today. And then you did it, and then tomorrow you take the next micro step, and then it's less about this big challenging thing that needs to happen, and more about these little mini steps that need to happen. Well, okay, I can do this mini step today, so at least I did a mini step, and that's fine. I got that mini step out of the way, and you know what, now I'm one mini step closer to my goal, which is much closer than by not taking that mini step at all. And then if you take a mini step towards your goal every single day for the next 2 months, then you're going to be way, 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 way closer. You're going to be leaps and bounds closer than you ever imagined. So it's really kind of taking this journey one step at a time, taking your movement towards whatever you're trying to make happen in your life, even if it's just trying to be happier, even if it's just trying to understand reality a little bit more, even whatever it is for you. If it is trying to make something happen, like a business or a project or an art project or creative venture or any of that, whatever it is for you, just take it one step at a time. You don't need to know everything yet. You don't need to know the ultimate outcome of everything. You just need to take a step. Next up, we have 2 cards from the Universal Waite Deck. This is like the classic Rider-Waite-Smith deck. We've got the Queen of Pentacles and the 2 of Wands. Yeah, so I do see you leaving this stuck energy now, I see you leaving it behind because you're opening yourself up to the journey, you're opening yourself up to the horizon and moving forward with what needs to happen next. I think you're going to move into this one step at a time energy, and you're going to see where you're going. This is journeying, traveling, moving forward, planning your next move. And it's like he's holding this globe here because he's looking out at the journey. And sometimes it can talk about journeying within. So maybe this is about for you journeying within to gain further insight, or it's about actual travel for you. You have the potential for real travel to be open to you. So regardless of what that is for you necessarily, I just see you opening up to this new period and leaving behind this struggle, leaving behind the stuck energy, because you are going to do this transmutation. And then you have the Queen of Wands, which is this deeply, deeply abundant energy. So you're bringing in this abundance for yourself, and she shares with others too. So, maybe you're going to be sharing, whatever you end up building, as you build this and you journey forward, maybe you're going to be ultimately sharing that with others too, but, be careful about oversharing to your plans with everyone. Because sometimes that can really dissipate the energy that you're trying to build. So if you're trying to make something happen, if you're trying to manifest something, I would be a little careful about oversharing too. Just as an aside, from my own personal experience, it's a little bit better to hold things a little close until you're really ready to share it, and that doesn't mean don't share any of your stuff with anyone. I'm saying the complete opposite of that. It's just, get your projects ready first before you talk about them, instead of just talking about doing something, take the action first, especially if you've been trying to make something happen and you feel stuck. That might be a way to get out of that stuck energy, is take the steps and actions before you tell people what you're going to do. Because then you're removing it from this plan and in the future, and you're bringing it into the present and the now. Next up, you have 2 cards from the 1JJ Swiss deck. We've got the 5 of Cups, and we've got the 8 of Swords. Okay, so that 8 of Swords is just reflecting that stuck energy again. It's just that same message. She's, in most decks, she's depicted as a woman who's blindfolded and kind of bound to those swords. So, it's kind of saying that, you've been stuck in this blindfolded energy where you don't necessarily see a way forward. But the thing about her is that she's only very loosely bound to those swords, and the blindfold's already falling off her face. So it's just, all you need to do is wiggle around a little bit, and then you can free your hands and remove yourself from the whole situation. And that's what I kind of see happening with this Temperance energy too, is like, you're going to be moving out of this, because you're going to start seeing a new way forward for yourself. You're going to be seeing this sort of way to move out of it. And with this 5 of Cups here, I think that potentially another reason you've been so stuck is emotionally, because you've been through some difficult stuff. The 5 of Cups is the loss card, so it talks about experiencing significant loss and feeling grief for it. So if you've been in a situation where you've been really upset because you've lost people or places or things or situations in your life, whatever that is, and however that loss is, first off, I feel for you. I've been there. And so, my heart goes out to you in this moment. If you're experiencing some challenges, the thing about the Five of Cups is that it's like these 3 cups have fallen over, and that's what she's focused on. She's focused on 3 cups. Sorry, in the Rider Waite Smith deck, in that Universal Waite deck, it's depicted as a woman who's crying, or it's a man actually who's crying over 3 cups that have spilt. And then these 2 cups, though, are standing behind him upright still. So it's indicating that these 2 cups are still upright. These 2 cups are still there. And so once you allow yourself to finish mourning this loss, once you can let go of the loss of these 3 cups, then you can really, experience these 2 cups that are remaining. And by doing that, you can cherish those cups even more. You can learn this sense of gratitude for the things that you have in your life, instead of just focusing on the things that you don't have anymore. You can really pay attention and honor these 2 cups that are remaining for yourself. And that's a really deeply beautiful thing. Finally, we have 2 cards from my hand-drawn deck. I drew this deck myself. We've got the Ace of Wands and we've got the Hanged Man. So that Hanged Man energy is all over this, I was talking about the Hanged Man earlier. It's that stuck energy. You have 3 cards talking about that stuckness. But with this Ace of Wands, it's showing that you're moving into something else now, because you have the Two of Wands as well, which is very similar. But with this Ace here, it's saying that you're moving in the direction of your passions and your drives. So you're entering into a new period of your life where you're going to be following the things that light you up in life. You're going to be following your passions, your drives, your hopes. The things you really, really want to make happen for yourself are what you're going to be devoting yourself to. And that's a very beautiful thing. That's going to help you leave behind this stuck energy. So remember, this temperance with that transmutational energy is very similar to this Five of Cups message. So, it's about changing your perspective. The Five of Cups is all about a perspective shift. And it's a really beautiful perspective shift because it's this idea where you start to let go of the things that aren't working for you. You start to let go of these challenges. You start to let go of this sadness. And you start to focus on the things that do work for you. You start to focus on the things that bring you gratitude in life. You start to focus on the things that make you happy. And by changing your perspective that way, you get to relieve yourself from these bounds that are tying you up and open your heart to this new beginning that's open for yourself, and leave behind any kind of stuck energy, any kind of stalemates, any kind of stagnation. And remember, like I was saying, this is a one step at a time process. So, don't feel like you have to solve all of this at once. It's the Ace of Wands that you have coming in. So it's the beginning of this journey. Remember, you're at the beginning, and it's okay to be at the beginning. It's okay to be at the first few steps because, you can't move forward until you start taking those steps. And it's always the first couple steps that are the most challenging because you don't know what's going on and you don't know how far you're going to travel and, all of that. But once you start on that journey, then you're going, and you're moving. And I see that journey starting for you. So start to think about what lights you up in life, start to think about what brings you happiness, and start to think about what you want instead of all the things that you don't want. Instead of thinking about a past that didn't work out, instead of thinking about things in your life that don't work for you, that aren't right, that are challenging, start to think about the things that do work. Start to think about the things in life that are here for you right here, right now, that actually make you really happy, start to think about all of that for yourself. And that's how you open yourself up to this beautiful new mode of being, new beginning, new modality, new way of operating. And that new mode, that new ability is going to bring you an incredible amount of happiness, because you're going to be following this journey for your heart, and towards your own self, and that's a beautiful thing. So anyway, pile number 2, I hope that resonates. That was my reading for you. Please let me know in the comments what you think of it either way. I really, really love hearing from everyone. And it's so amazing to watch this channel grow. A deep, deep, deep thanks for, for everyone who subscribed to this channel, and a deep, deep, deep thanks for everyone who participated in the the drawing competition. I announced the winner of that at the beginning. So if you didn't catch the intro, feel free to look back at that. So thank you to everyone. I deeply appreciate it. Yeah, if you want a private reading with me, I have them available on my website at junodrome.com. I've got a couple options available there, and I'm considering adding one more tier that's slightly more affordable than my other two readings. That'll be a little bit shorter. So if there's any interest in that, please let me know. And then finally, I have another way for you to help support this channel and keep it growing, and help me support myself as I do it, is through Patreon. That's available at patreon.com/junodrome. There's a bunch of fun options available there, so please check that out. Anyway, thanks so much, pile number 2, and I hope you have a wonderful day today. See ya. Hi there, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is your reading if you chose this petrified wood stone. Really, really pretty. So let's just dive in, okay? This is going to be whatever messages from Spirit. We're leaving it pretty open today just to give you whatever we can. First up, we have 2 cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot. So let's see what we've got. We've got the, wow, I haven't even seen this one in this deck yet. 6, 7, 8 of Pentacles. Okay. And then we've got the 6 of Pentacles. Okay. A lot of Pentacles energy here. So with that 8 of Pentacles, I'm going to read these just especially from the imagery on these cards and keep it mostly at that, because, you know, they're pulling in a lot. With this spider energy, you know, especially with the web here, look at all these pentacles that are caught in the web, right? So it's like you've got to build the web to catch the flies, right? That's kind of the big message from the spider in general, you know? So it's like if you want to make something happen for yourself, you know, if you're looking to build abundance, if you're looking to, you know, if this is, since it's both pentacles, you know, this might be money related, career related. If you're looking to start your own business or jumpstart your career in a new direction, you know, it's this idea that you got to build the infrastructure. And that it's okay to build that infrastructure. So, you know, don't just focus on the low-hanging fruit, you know. With this one, I'm just getting this imagery. I'm going to just read it intuitively here, which is fun. You know, don't just go for the low-hanging fruit. Build the infrastructure so you can catch what you really want. And what I mean by that is, like, don't just pick the easy way out, you know, like, oh, I can't make what I really want to have happen, so I guess I'll just do that because it's available to me, you know. Like, if you continue to make those kinds of choices, you're never going to get to the places that you want to go, because you're always going to be choosing the quickest, easiest shortcut. And life doesn't always work that way, right? Like, we can't always get the best possible thing for us, you know, the most optimal thing that will be so happy, make you so happy, be the most ultimate thing that you want. Sometimes you can't get that by just following, oh, here it is, I'm just going to grab whatever I can in this second, you know? And it takes actually building the infrastructure to catch those things that you really want. So what does that mean? You know, maybe that means learning a new skill, you know, maybe, and it doesn't have to just be from school, although it could be, you know, it could be actually taking classes or getting a degree potentially, you know. Do your research on what it is that will work for you and what you want for yourself. But it's also this idea of, you know, you can also learn from the internet, right? You can learn from taking a Skillshare course, which are very cheap, you know, or whatever. So it could be learning new things, but it can also be like building the best website for yourself possible, you know, like doing your research and really working on it all for yourself, you know, like whatever it is for you, you know. it's this idea that you're being encouraged to build something instead of just you know, jumping at whatever the quick, easiest thing is. Really build out this infrastructure for yourself. Next up, we have 2 cards from the Universal Waite Tarot deck. We've got the Queen of Swords and we've got the Queen of Wands. Wow, 2 queens. So that's cool. You got 2 power queens coming out to you for some advice here. So definitely follow your passions and your drives. Whatever this is, as you build this infrastructure for yourself, you're going to be, you're going to be the happiest and the most successful when you follow your passions. If you're going to build the infrastructure to make something happen, don't just do it, to build abundance. Like, don't just, that's this low-hanging fruit mentality again. Don't just pick whatever's popular, right? Don't just pick the thing that everybody's saying is going to be the best way to make money, because that's not you, and that's just everybody's saying. And so you're going to be less successful by just trying to follow trends than actually following your heart, right? So with the Queen of Wands, she's really encouraging you to tap into your drives, tap into your passions, tap into what lights you up in life. Because when you follow that, when you follow what makes you passionate, you're going to be happy with the work, because that's what building this infrastructure is going to do. It takes work, right? You got to build that web in order to catch those flies. So building the web is a really lengthy process sometimes, and it can mean a lot of work and a lot of hours. But if you're following your heart and your passions and your drives and what lights you up, it's not going to feel daunting. It's not going to feel like work as much, and it'll feel like work, right? Because work is work, but it'll be, you'll be okay with the work. You'll be happy with it, because it's like, oh, but look at what I'm doing, look at what I'm making for myself, look at what I'm building, and look at how that's going to help me in the long run, because I'm building this deeply abundant thing for myself. I'm building this infrastructure to make something happen. So, you're really being encouraged to continue to do that, and to follow your passions no matter what. And then with the Queen of Swords here, this is talking about developing a calm and collected mind as well. So that's the next part of this, is that it's like, in order to really do this, she works slowly over time, the spider, to build this web. And, sometimes with the thing about spiders, right, is that with spider webs, if they build them in the wrong place, they get knocked down all the time, right? And that just happens. And when that happens to the spider doesn't freak out, right? The spider doesn't become incredibly emotional and just like give up or like destroy more things, or any of that. The spider just makes another web, right? Like, okay, well, that one didn't work. Okay, I'm going to build another one, So it's this energy. And I don't want to say, if you're building the infrastructure, don't be afraid that it's all going to not work out, but you will encourage setbacks on your journey towards abundance. We all do. There's always going to be some kind of setback. There's always going to be some kind of thing. And so with this Queen of Swords here, she's really encouraging you to keep a calm and collected head as that happens. Keep cool under pressure. Don't let things get to you so much. And that doesn't mean burying the things. When I say don't let things get to you, it means, feel your emotions, right? Definitely feel your emotions. The Queen of Swords, she's a very emotional person. She deeply, deeply feels her emotions, but she lets herself feel them. She goes and she sets herself aside, and she feels her emotions, and then she lets those emotions go, right? She doesn't let her emotions get the best of her, and then she moves forward from there. I had a mosquito here. So it's more of that catching the fly energy. That's so funny. We don't even have mosquitoes here very often. So I don't know. Look up mosquito symbolism online. I don't off the top of my head know what they mean, but you might find some extra symbolism in that if you Google mosquito symbolism for your reading. It may have some indication for you. Next up, we have 3 cards from the 1JJ Swiss deck, one of my absolute favorite decks. You've got the Chariot, we've got the Emperor, and we've got the 9 of Cups. Okay, all right, so with that 9 of Cups, that's a self-love card. At least I consider it to be a self-love card. in my own interpretation of the card. Not everybody will interpret it that way, but that's how I do, because it's like in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it's depicted as a man who is sitting alone in his private room and kind of like really, happy about, he's got these 9 cups surrounding him and he's really content, and sometimes some people think it's like this over contentment, where he's like overly boastful, but I don't feel that. He's alone in that room. He's not with other people. So because of that, he's cherishing the things that he's earned and gained over time, and he's really happy with himself. He's deeply allowing himself to experience this happiness and this joy, and he loves himself for it. So you're being encouraged to tap into that self-love through this process. And as you build things, it's going to happen really fast. With this Chariot energy, that can be a swift moving action coming in very quickly for you. So you have this sort of quick moving energy possible for yourself. And so that's a beautiful thing. This is going to happen. You're going to be on a roll. Once you get going on this, once you start building, you're going to feel like you're on a roll, and it's just going to be one thing after the next, after the next. And with this Emperor card here, you're being encouraged to take that Emperor approach. You're building your empire, if you want to think of it that way. The Emperor is very collected, very calm, and he understands. He's the man in charge. He is running an empire, so he knows how to delegate. He's able to get people to help him, and when he needs help, he's able to ask for what he needs, and he's able to make things happen because of that. So keep that in mind as you're building this. You don't have to do everything yourself. There are some things you can delegate to other people. There are some things you can ask help with, especially with learning and stuff like that. Like I was saying at the beginning. Oh no, that was a different one. But that was it. Building infrastructure is learning. So, potentially, going to school and asking for help that way by getting a mentor, that's another thing, maybe getting a mentor. So, you got a lot of options available to you. So keep that open, and take that Emperor approach. You're building your empire here. What does that mean for you? Finally, we have 2 cards from my hand-drawn deck. I made this myself. We've got the Queen of Cups. Oh, so you got another queen there. And you got the 2 of Pentacles. So the 2 of Pentacles talks about balance. So it's asking you to make sure you develop a healthy balance for yourself. Work hard, but also have a side life. Not everything is work. Make sure you're giving yourself enough time to rest as well, and enough time for leisure. It's a healthy balance. Strike that healthy balance for yourself as you build this. And then with this Queen of Cups here, that's more self-love. She's the most loving, nurturing, compassionate out of any of the queens. She's this deeply, deeply loving individual. Some very mothering energy too, So with these 3 queens, you have 3 queens here giving you complete encouragement to go off and be your own, make it happen for yourself. So I just see that for you, and you don't have to be necessarily female to get these queens. You can be male as well. It's not just feminine energy, although it tends to be, but it's just you've got the queens here helping you. So regardless of who you are, these queens are here for you. And then like I said, finally this 2 of Pentacles is just talking about maintaining a healthy balance. So as you do this, as you continue to work towards this abundance, as you continue to build whatever it is, as you're building your empire, keep a healthy balance, keep a healthy work-life balance, keep a healthy rest schedule, because if you push too hard, especially physically, if you push too hard, then you're going to get sick, you know what I mean? So just don't push yourself too hard. Always keep a rest available for you. So anyway, pile number 3, that was my reading for you. I hope that it resonates. Please let me know in the comments either way. I really love hearing from everyone. I just want to thank everyone so much for participating in the giveaway. If you didn't catch it in the intro, I announced the winner of that. So thanks to everybody. I deeply, deeply appreciate it. And we're going to be doing another giveaway in the future, so stay tuned for that. I think I'm going to be giving away 2 readings when we reach 1,000. So one more reason to help, encourage your friends to really join this channel. And it's growing so quickly. So I know we're going to reach 1,000 very quickly, because we're already at 624, or even more, 640 something, I think, which is absolutely incredible. So just a huge, 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 huge thanks to everybody. I'm so excited and thrilled to continue to bring you more of these readings. So yeah, stay tuned for more. If you want a private reading with me, I have them available on my website. Check that out at junodrum.com. And then one final way to help for you to help support me even further and get some awesome bonus content is through my Patreon. That's available at patreon.com/junodrum. Thank you so much to everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you later. See ya.